Tonight on WVUA News at 6. Full Moon BBQ in Tuscaloosa is back up and running after being destroyed by last year's storms. We'll take you to the grand reopening. Plus, hear from employees that were inside the restaurant that April 27th afternoon.
And if you have a habit of texting and driving, now may be your time to stop, or it could cost you. We'll have all the details.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a look at your weather.
Parts of our area saw a few storms rolling through, and we could be in the clear or is more on the way tonight. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott joins us now with what to expect. Hi, Richard.
Hey, Linda Phillip, good Monday afternoon to you. Right now, things are quiet across the area. We're in a break between showers, storms. 93 down in Tuscaloosa, 100 back in Montgomery. Certainly hot, and we could use some rain to cool things off. Unfortunately, we do have a risk of some severe storms later tonight. Again, the radar satellite pretty quiet across the area. Some scattered storms trying to organize around the Montgomery area, but from Tuscaloosa points north, not much happening on radar just yet. That will likely change later this evening. We're waiting on a lifting mechanism to make it down to southeast in our state, and once that happens, the rain chances will increase probably sometime around midnight into early tomorrow morning for our Tuesday. Straight line winds, some damaging straight line winds are going to be possible tonight. You want to stay severe weather alert. What about the rest of the forecast? And how about your all-important weekend forecast? Weather's coming up. Stick around.
Thanks a lot, Richard. And good news tonight for all you barbecue lovers out there. Full Moon BBQ on McFarland Boulevard is now back up and running.
The grand reopening comes 15 months after the restaurant was impacted by the April 27 tornado. Full Moon celebrated their recovery progress with a ribbon-cutting ceremony today. Owner Brian Ahmed says all of the employees working at the restaurant before the storm will be returning to their jobs at the new location. Although today marks a major step forward for the company, employees say they'll never forget what happened that April 27th.
It's almost like a rebirth of Full Moon BBQ. It's just very exciting. It closes a chapter on the past 15 months, and we're going to start a new chapter. And it's just about being positive and looking forward to a bright future now.
Basically, I was there that day, working drive-through, and manager Paul Collins told us to get into the cooler at the right time. As soon as we got in there, latched it, like 2 seconds later it hit. So when I crawled out, when they pulled the rubble away from us, basically I had the headset still around my neck, so I saved that for a little memory.
It was very frightening because by the time we got inside the cooler, immediately the building started shaking and the power went out and everything started tumbling off the shelves on top of us. And we were just praying, crying, and scared to death.
We try to do the best to help them and keep them working, or just help them take care of them during this off time. But we knew we would be back. The important thing for them is that now they can get back to some kind of a routine and move forward.
I can move forward. I'm looking to be very successful in Full Moon, so I'm looking that we're going to do big things here.
You know, we're never going to forget what happened, but you know, it's just one of those things that we're just going to close that chapter and move on to something brighter and better. And they're good people. They're hard workers. They're good people, and they deserve to have, you know, a great place to work at and a nice environment to call home.
And that report comes from WVUA's Mary Beth Harrison. Meanwhile, Full Moon owner Brian Ahmed says doors will open for business on Tuesday at 10 a.m.
Listen up, drivers. You may want to think twice before sending that text.
Because starting Wednesday, if you text while driving, you could face a penalty. Alabama lawmakers passed a law prohibiting people from driving while sending a text message. And starting this Wednesday, August 1st, it will be illegal to write, send, or read a text message or email while driving. However, under this law, you are allowed to read, select, or enter a number or name to make a telephone call or receive driving instructions. According to Sergeant Brent Blankley with Tuscaloosa Police, he says authorities can spot a situation where drivers are not paying enough attention to the road.
You can tell the difference if somebody's just dialing a number on their phone and putting it up to the ear and talking on it, that kind of stuff, or if they're constantly on their phone, their car's swerving, their eyes are off the road, and it seems they're carrying on a conversation back and forth with texting.
And violators of the law will receive a fine ranging from $25 to $75.
Parents, it is that time of year again. School starts in less than a month, and this weekend you can get a break at the checkout during the back-to-school sales tax holiday. All across the state, various cities and counties are participating in the sales tax holiday. Items like school supplies and computers will be free of state sales and use taxes. Even if you don't need school supplies, you can take advantage of other items that will be tax-free. Clothing, for example, shoes, beginning on Friday, August 3rd at 12:01 and going through midnight on Sunday. For information about what's included in the big sales tax holiday, you can call the Alabama Department of Revenue, 866-576-6531. You can also go to WVUATV.com, our website, and look under numbers and links.
You're watching
On your election watch, we are now less than 100 days from the presidential election, and as they stand, most polls show President Obama slightly ahead.
But political expert Dr. Bill Stewart says with the margin of error, it is virtually a dead heat between Obama and presumptive Republican candidate Mitt Romney. Stewart told us Alabama has traditionally been a red state and has gone Republican every election since 1980, and the campaign will come down to less than 10 states like Florida. Stewart told us a lot can change over the next 99 days. For instance, if a crisis happens, Stewart says many people speak of Kennedy and the October surprise.
The Soviet Union, as it was known then, was putting missiles in Cuba, which would be aimed directly at the United States. President Kennedy, who was in office at that time, he exerted leadership in order to get those missiles taken out of Cuba.
The Republican National Convention is set for the week of August 27th in Tampa, Florida. That's going to be at the Tampa Bay Times Forum. The Democratic National Convention is set for September 3rd through the 6th in Charlotte, North Carolina at Time Warner Cable Arena. The election itself is set for Tuesday, November 6th. Still ahead, the accused Colorado shooter has been formally charged. We'll have the very latest.
And coming on home team weather, watching for the chance for scattered shower storms to develop later this evening and tonight. Some severe storms are possible after midnight. Got full details plus your weekend forecast straight ahead. Stay with us.
And the Alabama Open got a first-time winner. That story is coming up later in Alabama's Home Team Sports.